everybody, another night, another movie, and I just got done watching 2000's Return to Me, starring David Duchovny, Minnie Driver, Carol O'Connor and Bonnie Hunt. This one I've seen several times before. I only bought it and checked it out originally because of Mr. Duchovny. Because it was, I saw the kind of making of it, as you know, with the X-Files. But this was made like between season 6 and 7 of the X-Files, so we heard all about it and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those odd movies because there's nothing wrong with it, and yet whenever, say, like the opportunity to watch it, or if it's on TV or something, I tend to avoid it. And I don't know why. I think it's just the concept of it is, you think of the basic plot and it makes you worry that you're going to go into a sugary comatose. If it's possible to suffer with diabetes thanks to the plot of a movie, this would be the cause. But it is a bloody brilliant movie, and well directed and written by Bonnie Hunt, who also stars in it. Kudos to her for what she's done, because something like this could have been so poorly handled. So basically the story is that Robert and Elizabeth Ruland are very happy in love. He's a builder, she works at a zoo where she's taught this gorilla sign language and stuff, except the gorilla is in a very small habitat. So they want to build Sydney a larger habitat. So they have this fundraiser and stuff, and on the way home she is killed in a car crash, and Bob is absolutely devastated. Meanwhile, there's this young woman played by Minnie Driver, Grace. Sorry, my mind went blank then. Grace, who's dying from a heart disease, and she needs a new heart, and she gets Elizabeth's heart when Elizabeth dies, basically. And a year later we see how how Grace is so much better and stuff like that, and for a confluence of events, she ends up meeting Bob, and they are instantly drawn together. Because of course, you know, she's got Elizabeth's heart, so it's like there's that connection. That's the schmaltzy bit of the movie. But they build this relationship, but she refuses to, like, she's very conscientious of this scar that's down her chest and stuff. So she's very held back, and she refused to tell Bob because it's working so well with him and stuff. And she's her grandfather, played by Carol O'Connor, he's bought her a ticket to go to Rome, because she's this she's this artist, and they really want her to go and stuff. So she's kind of, you know, putting off going and stuff. But when she goes over for a meal at Bob's, she's gonna finally tell him about her heart transplant and that she's had this surgery and stuff. Except then she accidentally stumbles upon a letter that she'd sent via the donor agency, and realises that she has his dead wife's heart, as this dedication for the habitat is drawing near after he's been working his butt off. So she absolutely freaks out. She leaves, and she's like, that's it, I gotta go to Rome. And she tells Bob, and he doesn't know how to deal with it, so he goes off. So she leaves, he doesn't see her off, and then we see him trying to make the choices and stuff, and he goes and sees her in Italy and goes back to America with her. So yeah, it's so schmaltzy. Not helped by the fact that Bob and Elizabeth's dog, who's absolutely besotted with Elizabeth, in much the same way my dog is with me, you know, always stood at the door waiting for her to come home, stuff like that. Doesn't listen to Bob when it comes to food time and stuff. Which, again, like I say, reminded me of my dog, because when I'm away, when people come in to feed him, he absolutely refuses to eat while they're here. So it just made me think of that. But also, but once he meets Grace, he's all over her, which Bob is really befuddled by. And when she's at the zoo and meets Sydney, before she's even met Bob, Sydney the gorilla, sorry, I don't think I specified, the gorilla's like instantly putting hands against the glass and, you know, wanting to make that connection. So that bit is really, really cheesy and sugary, just, you could get cavities from the sugariness there. But like I say, there is so much excellent chemistry going on here. I mean, even like Grace's grandfather and like this community of his brother-in-law, played by Robert Loggia, and you got Eddie Jones and I can't remember the other guy's name. You know, this group of elderly people that meet at this Irish-Italian restaurant that's run by Grace's grandfather, Marty. You know, and they have this great camaraderie, and Bonnie Hunt plays Grace's, like, I'm trying to figure out, kind of, it's a relation. I'm not, like I say, she is the daughter of Grace's grandfather's brother-in-law. It's all whatever. Anyway, I'm not very good with the whole relationships, but there's this big, basically, family, and she's married. You know, her husband is played excellently by James Belushi, and it is just so well acted. And even though it's weird, there feels like there's so much, even though this is a big cast, a kind of an encore supporting cast, if you will, it's brilliantly, you feel like each of the characters is well fleshed out. Even David Alan Grier's Charlie, who worked with Elizabeth at the zoo, he's a vet there. You just really, there are no characters here that you particularly hate. It's because of this movie, actually, that David Alan Grier and Minnie Driver make cameo appearances in Duchovny's penned episode of season 7 of the X-Files, Hollywood AD. Because of their work with him on this, they then did that little cameo in that. I could, this is like I say, this is sugary, and it is cliche, and my only real problem with this movie is the very ending. It just kind of just stops, and I was like, okay. I mean, we get the whole, them meeting up and stuff, but then it's just blah, and I was like, oh, okay, that feels a bit cut short, a bit abrupt. That would be my only real problem with this movie. But otherwise, it's enjoyable. It's a good it is a chick flick. I don't know if the camaraderie between the guys is enough to entice men. But personally, as a chick, I love it to bits. It's your classic romance. But the good thing about it is it's not one of the worst romance movies. Because although if you explain the storyline, it sounds really schmaltzy. When you're actually watching it, you don't really feel like you're chomping through, you know, all that sugar. I know I keep saying sugary and that, but like I say, the concept sounds awfully sweet. But it just doesn't feel like it. And even better about this movie is the amazing soundtrack. From even starting out with the remastered, reorchestrated version of Dean Martin's Return to Me, or Return to Me. That is amazing. I am a big fan of Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Bobby Darin and that. So this music I really enjoy. I don't actually own the soundtrack, but it's one of those soundtracks that I would happily, if it turned up, I would happily listen to it straight through. I know there is so much about this that I like, and yet, like I say, I know if I stumble upon it in the future, I won't be in a rush to watch it, and I don't know what it is that stops me watching it. Except maybe David Duchovny's hair in this movie. It does kind of put me off. Maybe because I really liked his weed whacker hair in season 7. But yeah, there's something, he's got this thing going on. That he's quite tanned in this. I think I found it distracting. But other than that, no, I'm not a big fan of Minnie Driver, if I'm honest. It's not that she's not a good actress, and I always enjoy seeing her in interviews, but I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of hers. But yeah, you know, I'd give this a solid 7 out of 10. 7.5 if we're talking on the grand scheme of romance movies. But it is definitely worth checking out if you love your love stories, if you're after one of Duchovny's better films, and if you're after just a nice, I was going to say sweet then, but I've said that about a million times in this review already. If you're just after a very loving, caring, I gotta say it, sweet movie, it's the kind of thing that you will, if you're single, you will sit and watch it and just go, oh. If you're with your lover, wife, husband, other half of whatever type, it's the kind of thing that you will curl up with them on the sofa to. It's a nice afternoon watch. But yeah, no, please do. If you like love story, romance movies and chick flicks, and you want to check these actors out in something other than what they're mainly known for, please do check out 2000's Return to Me. That was the movie for tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow. Looking forward, as always, to seeing your comments. Can't thank you enough for watching these videos. I wouldn't be here doing them if it wasn't for your support. So thank you. Please like and subscribe. And look forward to seeing you down the line. For now, though, this is Sketch, signing out.